Okay, so I'm getting ready to trim Molly. I did a basic trim and posted it. And so what I want to do is I want to compare Molly's foot to Michelle's horse's foot, which we're going to look at right here. Okay, and I'm going to show Michelle how she needs to trim this foot, or how I think she needs to possibly fix it. The difference between Molly's foot and this foot, I will show you. Okay, let's see, I should have made it a little lower. All right, but I'm going to set it here and read it now. What's going on with Michelle's horse's foot here, okay, is that this would be long toe, run forward toe with the run forward heel. Okay, except for the fact that it's been trimmed by a natural balance trimmer and he has rockered the toe. And so a lot of times the toe wall is back fairly decent. Okay, but because they do not rocker the pillars, this whole area can remain forward like this. And it's just this year that we have discovered that these pillars can be distorted and you won't even know it. And so we're going to compare this foot to Molly's foot, Molly's foot ain't perfect, but she's got some good things going on that this horse don't have. She doesn't have the real run forward heel that this horse has here. So now what I want you to see here is we're going to look at Molly's foot here, and she does have some issues. I'm just now dealing with the pillars here the last 6 months and have been learning more about it. So now I see what her problems is. And what happens is your inside pillar gets compressed and thick and high. And then that throws the weight over to this heel here, which runs it forward a little bit. And because this pillar gets so thick and compressed, it just is not going to move anywhere. I'm talking about this pillar right here. Now you can probably see how this whole area in here just looks thicker. And if you look at it under the wall, you'll see that this wall is thicker as well. So that throws the weight back onto this heel, which runs these horn tubules forward. A lot of times it'll run the wall out like this, but it'll run forward like this. And you see, you see the horn tubules. You see how they're not straight? They're turned that way. That's because when that is high, throwing the weight back onto this heel back here, this heel runs forward, and it's going to push all these horn tubules forward to about here. Okay, or wherever the foot is the strongest right in here, usually to this pillar right here. Okay. So what happens is, over time, you just leave this a little higher, a little higher. Now the wall, okay, it gets compressed and thickened right in this area here, this pillar. And then eventually you wind up with an internal medial-lateral imbalance where this side is higher. But it'll look like this side of the foot is higher externally. And so you wind up continuing to lower this side of the foot while this side just gets higher or remains high. And so you wind up with the real problem. So this is due to our trimming and our eyes and the fact that we haven't been seeing this go on. And so you'll have a heel back here that's very upright and one here that is run forward like this. So the way to correct it is eventually get this pillar wall, the whole thing straightened out, so you ain't got a big, thick, compressed wall. Anyway, we need to do Michelle's horse here. Okay, so if Molly's hoof was like Michelle's here, her heel wall right here, where it goes right here, and her heel meets the ground right here, her heel wall would be run forward. This part of the wall right here would be run forward clear over to here, like that. Now you see, now the heel, now this is the area of her heel, right here. All this area is heel wall, and down into here. Okay? Now, if this was Michelle's horse, you see this wall that's right here, and this right here, okay, this wall here would be, first of all, her bulb would be down lower and being pushed back, and this wall right here would be run forward and collapsed clear to here. Now, one thing you'll notice is this line from here to here is longer than this line from here to here. So even though a lot of times, because it's collapsed and run forward, this side of the foot is longer or lower this way from the hairline down, the horn tubules will actually be longer than on the other side. So, and then this piece of hoof right here, okay, that's right here, should be right here. On her horse, it goes clear up into here. I hope you can see that. It goes clear up into here. Like this. And then, let me look at the picture. Okay, and right in the center here, this horn tubule on Molly, that goes, let's see if we're center, hers goes right to here. Okay, on Michelle's horse, this right here goes clear up into here. Like that. So what we want to do is we want to start relieving this in the pillar and around here to give these tubules room underneath here to start backing up like this to where they should be and standing up. See, now this part here, her bulb is pulled down under. See how the horse is almost walking on the bulb right here? There's no support for that bulb. Okay? So this heel wall here will have to come back up like this, and it'll lift this whole area on her horse's foot to support it again. See, Molly's is supported fairly well there. It'll bring it back like this, and you see, and that will shorten it as well, but it will also lift the whole back of the foot. Okay, so, yeah, I just marked my face with the marker. That was cute. Okay, so, something I noticed. Okay, you can have back feet that are just like this, where the heel is completely gone, the horse is completely walking on the heel, and the back feet rehab very quickly. But for some reason we have a hard time with front feet getting the heel to come back and support and lift up the bulb in the back of the foot here and the lateral cartilage, see, support that foot. So, I do think this is also related to the pillars, because on back feet they are more spade-shaped, and the pillars do not get big and long and round and heavy a lot of times like they do on the front feet. Back feet are more pointed. You tend to follow the shape of the white line that doesn't get quite as distorted. Now, on some horses it does. If you wind up with a round back foot, you've got bad pillars. But because we take the pillars down more spade-shaped, I think that gives room for those feet to remodel quicker and for those heels to stand up. Now, Molly had a back foot just like that. No heel at all, walking right on the back of the bulb here. And I see, you know, for a long time, I just focused on the front feet. Just hoped the back feet would take care of themselves. Well, they don't. It's kind of like how I used to rope cattle, just throw and hope it would go over one's head. It don't work like that. Okay, now I trim the back feet just like I trim the front feet. Okay, so what we want to do on this horse is I'm going to take the pillars down a certain way that I think would help her begin to fix this foot and give the foot room for all these run forward pillars to come back. All right. Now, a lot of people have this problem. So, see, I'm working with Michelle, and because see, a lot of people have had natural balance trimmers, and people have also rockered their toes, and they have big, heavy pillars, and their heels never come back. See, just the middle of the toe comes back, and so I'm hoping through this series of videos and helping Michelle that other people that have this problem can be directed to this and read her stuff and just go do it, and then I don't have to do all this a million times. Okay, so first I'm going to map the foot. Okay, don't fall, for crying out loud. Okay, I should have sharpened my hoof knife. And you want to find the apex of the frog, because a lot of times these frogs' apexes will be stretched forward. She's getting ready to shed a frog, I got a feeling. Wow. It's been very rainy here. Thanks, Molly. Where is the apex of your frog? Can't tell the difference. Try not to hit the camera. Anyway, you want to find the apex for, okay, I believe it's right here. Hard to see. Okay, don't fall and knock my camera over, would you? There's slight difference of color variation. Her apex is right here. And I want to measure 1 inch back from there. This should be the center of the internal foot. Okay, it don't always work that way. Sometimes if your frog is stretched forward, you have to find the center of the foot a different way and then measure forward. Okay. Quit. Okay, so that's one way, right there. Okay, now I can see our bar ends right here, and there's a little lump right here. Okay, this is the lump on the inside of the coffin bone. So we're right on with her right there. Okay, then we want to just mark the base of the frog. See how this goes like this, and you have these little bumps. And here's your central sulcus. Looks kind of cruddy on her. You're seeing that there? Quit! Okay, and okay, then from the apex of the frog forward, measure 1 1/4 inches. Measure 1 1/4 inches, right here. See, the length of her toe is right on. Now, you want to get these lines straight when you do your rockers and all that. So what I do is I want to get right here in the center of the foot, and I like to use one of these. And I'm going to draw a line right down the center of the foot. That way, see how I marked this here? That way, I can lay this up here. Okay, now I want to draw a line. This way, I can kind of keep this centered. She's not being very cooperative. As if this ain't hard enough. Okay, so now I know that my toe is about where it should be. Alright? I'm not going to have any problems here as far as it being longer this way. What I will have a problem with, if I don't watch, is it getting higher this way. Because once you get these feet straightened out, you start to get a big ridge of sole around here, and that can just really grow and get out of control. Alright, so I want to make me some lines if she will hold still and let me. See, I try and center this so things can be straight. I want a line straight across here. Okay? And I want a line, trying to center that all the way across here. Alright then. Now I know that my pillar on this particular horse is high over here. I'm hot. I don't even kind of know where to start here right now. Okay, so I'm just going to exfoliate some of the dead sole out. I really don't want to take any out here. Now the thing you'll find is that it will usually exfoliate pretty easy right in here. You want to get your seed of the corn, you know, all the dead stuff out there. Sometimes it can be a little compressed. See, I'm going to take it down to where I know my wall has grown past. A lot of times you have a tight white line and you won't see it. So I'm just going to bring this around right there on my line. See, what's nice is we've had it very wet. Usually the wall here will adhere to the sole will adhere to the wall, and your white lines clear up to here, and you don't know that you should have taken out that much sole. See, and that's how you get a big long toe. I also want to take out this pillar here. See how it's black under there? See, we don't leave this big rim of toe. See, I've got a lot of concavity right here. Her sole ridge is right where it needs to be. If you ain't got a lot of concavity, then your walls need to come back. But see how I'm taking that down into there? Quit. Get this over here. Quit, please. There, I got the fly for you, for crying out loud. I'm just right up there into that. See? I go clear up to the wall. Now remember, this horse has good sole ridge. Michelle's horse won't. Okay, now I'm seeing what I did here before. Let me get this right. Okay, is that as your toes start coming back, you're going to start getting sole ridge that is going to build up, and you have to know where to keep that dorsal wall. Okay, so I've been keeping hers at about 3 1/4. And what I do is, you want to come up here, you want to find where it starts to indent. It'll come up and then it indents right here. That's the end of the hoof. And I've been keeping it at 3 1/4 right here. So her toe's about right. Now at first that was almost too short. But as the hoof progressively changes, you'll find that the foot is driven up into the foot, and you can even get a little shorter. So I'm going to take her down to about 3 inches, because then I see from what we just did that I can do that. But you might start out at 3 1/4, and that's as short or as low this way as you can take that foot to start out with. But as the walls drop and things adjust and the foot internally is driven up and you get in concavity, this dorsal wall will get shorter. Now, this way you can, you have to kind of read when you can shorten this up a little more. As I said, at 3 1/4, sometimes that was almost too short for her. All right, but now I'm seeing from what I just read in the sole and underneath that I can take her up to about 3 inches. Remember, I had some extra hoof wall there, didn't I? So I'm going to mark her in the center at 3 inches right here. that's the goal, what I want to take her down to. Now, when you come over, here's the toe right here. Right in here. Okay? Now this wall from here over should start getting a little shorter. Okay? So I'm going to come over to here. And I'll go ahead and mark that right at 3 inches. But by the time I get over here to the side, I want to be at about 2 3/4 right there. And let's see, where's my deal? Okay, there we go. I'm following the horn tubules, about 2 3/4. That's gonna help me bring this pillar down here. See there? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do right here. Yeah, where am I here? Okay, right there, 3 inches. But by the time I get over here, I want to be at about 2 3/4. In other words, by the time I get around here to the side of the toe, I want to have these horn tubules about 1/4 of an inch shorter here in the pillar, right here, as we go around the toe. Okay? Now, I'm going to keep an eye on that as I rasp down and take off the bottom of the foot. Now, you see that I was able to do that. Like I said, I've been keeping track of my measurements on these walls. And at first, 3 1/4 inches was seeming to take her pretty short because the foot was lower in the capsule. Now it's being driven up. I have tremendous concavity here, a wonderful sole ridge. Even though you saw that chunk I took off there. So you got to keep control of that once you get it. Okay, and you have to read when you're able to take down to 3 inches. Now this is a great progress for us that the length of the dorsal wall has gone from 3 1/4 inches, which was taking her kind of short sometimes, to or 3 inches right here, okay, and 2 3/4 here. At first it was 3 1/4 here and then 3 in the pillars, see? Okay, so I see that the foot has changed enough that I can take off another little bit. So from now on we'll keep her at 3 inches with 2 3/4 here in the pillar. See, because like I said, once this foot really starts developing, you start getting sole and you get this tremendous sole ridge around here, you got to keep track of it or it will get out of control. Okay, I think I'll nip that off. Now, Michelle's horse's foot, of course, is not like this foot. Okay? She measured it. She's at 3 1/4 now in the toe. What she needs to do is shorten her pillars. See? Okay, let's see. Let's take this back. Let's just take this back. I'm going to turn this off till I got this, well, heck with it. I take a little bit of my bar there. See, now you're getting a good foot when you can take off a pretty even amount all the way around. You see that nice thick hoof wall and a white foot. Oh my. Take a bar like that. I can't see. Okay. Quit. Alright. Now, I'm going to show you how you would rasp something like this. Okay. Now, if you'll see, that took me almost down to my lines, and I will rasp the rest. See there? Okay. And, you know, it's not all about just measuring to some lines. It's about learning the anatomy, to read the anatomy. How much sole do I got? Am I getting too much sole? Because let me tell you what, once you start doing this, you can start getting too much sole. Now, here's where my breakover line is that I drew before. Okay, here's the apex of my frog line. And I might have to straighten it out a little bit. It is hard looking at a foot this way to get it straight. You know, it might be more over this way. I'm not being able to tell there. But anyway, okay, so you have different sections of the hoof. You have the toe, which goes from about here to here. You have the pillars, the sides of the foot from here to here, here to here. Then here's your quarter to about here, right here. Then you have your heels right here. Okay, so each part has to have special attention taken to it. Yeah. Okay. You want to get your heels right. You want to get your toe right. Okay, so I'm just going to now, if you don't have sole, you don't want to rasp into the sole. I got a lot of sole here. Now I'm going to do the pillar. I know I was high over here. Gotta look at my line. Getting there. Okay, now you see my heel here. It's right back to the base of my frog. Okay, you see your heel buttress. Okay, here's the base of your frog. Here's your buttress right here. You want it just a little above the base of the frog, but back to there. Now, this part is the tricky part, rasping down this wall here. Okay, because you bring your heel back, like so. I'm going to bring this one back a little further because she's higher on this side. She's got a lot of excess sole here on that side, because this is the side that's been high. Okay. I'm going to let this down a little bit. Okay, so I'm right to my lines over here. Hoo-hoo. And I will bevel this wall. I could come down a little more on that inside pillar. Come here. Give it here. Now, when you start out and you don't have any sole, okay, you don't want to rasp down into the sole all the time. Okay. All right. Look at my heels down this way to see if they're relatively the same height. Okay. And you never want your frog to be higher. See, she's got a lot of concavity there. Now you see how thick her pillar wall is here. Whew. Okay, let's rest for a minute. Do I have that on? I hope so. She's got thick walls. Now I don't like... Now when you have a horse that has sole, I'm not telling you to do this for a thin-walled horse. This is after your walls are back. And, okay, I hope you don't move there, Molly. And, I don't want her walking on her sole. So, if you have thick sole. Now remember, she's got thick sole. I'm just going to come in here to make sure that this isn't higher. This isn't higher than the wall. That makes them sore. Now again, this is, all of this isn't a trim for Michelle. Okay? I need my other hoof knife. Okay. There. There, now none of my sole is higher than my wall. Because they don't get along very good when it's that, when you do that. Hold still. Hold still. There we go. I'm going to sight down my foot across the toe. Okay, so that's what I got for now. Now this is interesting how thick the wall gets in these pillars. Now this wall is way higher over here and jammed. I don't want to take out too much of that, but just kind of clean up that bar just a little bit. So don't smooch over there. Okay. Boy, Molly, your feet are getting... I mean, she had very contracted heeled, atrophied frogs. Her feet have changed a lot, but she's still real jammed on the inside, and I'm hoping that as I bring this pillar back, that will change. Okay. Okay, now the foot has a grid. Okay, you got your growth lines that go around this way, and you got your horn tubules like this. Now, gosh dang, you scared the crap out of me. Put that foot back. Okay, now, see, I'm right down here in front of her, like, you know, don't want to get killed or nothing. If I could get this to stand up, just a second here. Okay, now her hairline is very stiff and pushed up here and more dropped and relaxed here. You want your hairlines to be even here. Okay, now what is pushing this up here is the fact that this whole pillar has become very compressed. Now, what I want it to do, if you look at the growth line here on the side of the foot, it goes up like that. It shouldn't do that. See, it goes around like this, and then it goes up like that. And the wall is very compressed, and what I want it to do, I want it to grow down uncompressed and more attached in here. So I'm going to follow this growth line, which rises about in here, starts rising about in here. See there? Okay? And it's a little bit, I'm kind of tell. Okay? And it starts rising about here as well. Okay, but it's different. This is compressed up, and this is kind of pushed out a little. So I'm going to deal with it a little bit differently on the bottom, and I'm actually going to shape the front feet as if they were back feet to give these pillar areas room to grow down uncompressed with good hoof wall right in here, all the way down into the pillar area of the internal foot. And at the same time, giving the toe and all this here room to start moving back this way, be pushed back this way as all this comes down. And this will help all this jammed up hoof wall back here drop down as well. So you have to give the horse some support while relieving things at the same time. And I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. And it's been working because she's grown in much better hoof wall. But we still have a ways to go as far as getting some of this internal imbalance out of the foot. Okay, now no lines you draw are hard and fast rule. You have to learn to read the sole. How much sole do I have? How deep, a lot of times how deep the apex of your frog is how much sole you have. If your apex is not very deep, you don't have much sole. Alright, so on the hoof wall, okay, if this was a back foot, say I got my line down here, and I got my lines across here, the apex of the frog. Okay, what I want to do is I just want to draw a line from here to here, and a line from here to here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off some of the pillar wall. I'm going to leave my toe wall here, and I'm just going to kind of bevel it right in here. But I want to take this pillar lower here in a kind of a rocker from here to here, which I'll do here. Wait a minute. Give it here. Okay. See, now I only have one finger under there. You see that? See how that is? That's about the, 1 to 1.5 to 2 fingers under there. Just giving it a little bit of relief there. Okay, so it's about a rasp width. See that? Okay. So that there's no leverage right here on the ground. Now see how that's kind of changed the shape of it a little bit, more like a back foot. I'll let you look at that. See, it's more like this than round. Just by doing a slight rocker right there. Quit. Quit, quit. Eh. Okay, now on my toe, I'm just going to take off the hard outer torn tube. I'm not rockering the center of the toe. But why is that? Because the toe's been rockered. The toe's back exactly where it needs to be. See? So I'm just beveling the wall up to where it gets the widest. Here's where it's the widest. If I go past that, I've gone too far. Do you see that? So I just kind of want to bevel that, round it off a little. Quit, 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 quit. There we go. That way there's no leverage on it. And she's still got some wall here protecting the toe. Whew. Now this is corrective trimming. Now, once you get your foot the way it's supposed to be and you get those pillars right, your foot's going to be shaped more like this anyway. Remember how it was round? Okay. See, now it's more spadish shaped, which the front foot is more oval and not round anyway. Okay, now here again, I'm going to relieve just the outer. See, I'm still leaving. That's the widest part of the wall. I don't want to take that away from the sole or bevel it right in here. See there? I don't want to bevel any of this outer wall, and I don't want my sole higher than my wall either, so you're going to have to watch all this. And of course I got a little sole to play with. You might not. Quit it. Okay, so I want to bevel this wall all the way back, even the heel a little bit. There's a bevel right there. Now, the heel a little bit. Yeah. What the hell was that? Oh, that's the horse. Okay, here we go. Now, when I put it up on top, I will round this just a little bit right in here in the pillar, but I'm not going to thin it down a lot. Okay. Now, are you seeing how that changed just by lightly rockering and relieving the wall at these pillars area, not here right in the center of the toe, how it changed the shape of the foot? Do you see that? Okay, so now we'll put this around so that you can see what I do to it from the top. Okay, back up. Back up. Okay. Give me a foot. Give me a foot. Give me a foot. Again, as I said, I noticed back feet rehab quicker than front feet. Okay, I can't tell if you can see now. Do you see how I came right to my line with the bevel? You know, just because you put a line here don't mean you should go to it. Okay? You got to read the sole. You know, some of you aren't going to be able to take off my sole. Now, in this pillar area that I rockered, I'm going to bevel a little more. I'm going to round off my toe here. But now I'm going to go straight down on my pillar area. I'm done, my foot will be shaped more like a back foot. People go, why is he doing that? Just rounding into toe, but just knocking off the edges right there. There, now I don't have a round toe anymore. I'm giving just these outer tubules some room to move. Alright, that's it. I am very happy with that because now I have a front foot that's actually shaped like a front foot, even though I'm kind of shaping it like a back foot. But that's because it was way too round to begin with. Now I'm going to let you compare these. Come here. Come on up here. Come on up here. Okay, now do you see how that toe is not really round anymore? Huh? And it's relieved under here at the ground. I might bevel a slight bit more here. Okay. Now look how square that toe is in here compared to this toe. See, those pillars are what get that thing out of shape. So we're relieving those pillars. And I'll let that go a couple days. Because what you'll do is you'll come out, and you know you lowered that. You know you rockered those pillars, or the sides of the toe there, as I showed you. But you come out in a few days and it's gone. Okay, it would be gone if the foot wasn't stretched forward there. So we will check her in a couple days, and you'll see that it's gone. Okay, now, can you see the shape of that foot, how it's not round anymore? Okay, now my pillars are just a little lower from here to here, and from here to here. And that's actually the shape of the foot. You know, but what happens is we're so used to rockering these off and the pillars don't come back and we get this big round toe. Well, they don't have a round toe. Okay, this is the shape of their foot. Now, back foot even more spadey than this. Okay, all right. Again, let's look down the toe. See how they're relieved there? Just slightly into the sole, little relieved, because I guarantee you, if you got big old long pillars and round toe, your sole is stretched out in here anyway. Okay, so rocking into that a little bit ain't gonna hurt at all. Alright, I'm done. It's hotter than a firecracker. Very humid, and I'm just sweating. Okay. Let's take a look at this, how this looks now. Okay. And we'll go around over here. I want you to kind of see under there how the pillar is kind of relieved under here. It'll come down in a few days, and I'm going to keep working on it to relieve it right under here so that this wall will go down non-compressed. I got like a big chunky pillar right here. Okay. Okay. Let's see, Molly. See, you can really tell the difference in those feet. One big and round. Other one shaped like a horse. The horse's foot is supposed to be shaped. Okay. Move over a little. Okay, again, see how that foot is? Okay, now see how that foot is? All right.